Daily Broadside to 837. I'm sitting here in a parking lot enjoying lunch, and across the street from me is a local establishment that's a chain, national chain, I guess, of storage and wine cellar. Now, I've seen this place before. I've never noticed that they have a wine cellar. So this is a 3-story building, storage units, whatever. I get that part, but the business model that allows you to have a wine cellar, that's kind of odd, And so I look up, and I'm like, how much does that cost? And how big are these rooms, It's most wine cellars and homes are not crazy big, It's just like it's like a master closet, basically. I know a guy who has a really nice wine collection, some $20,000-$30,000 bottles, and it's smaller than a master closet, but you can fit a lot of wine in there. Well, anyway, I go on there to see how much it costs, and it starts at like $45 or something like that for I don't remember what it was. It was like a 4x6 or something like that. Pretty much the size I'm talking about. But it says first floor. And I'm looking at this place. And I'm like, there's no cellar to this place. It's a first floor. That's not a cellar. By definition, a cellar can't be on ground floor. I just find it odd that somebody who could afford wine, now you're not going to get some $2 Chuck filling it up with some, like Trader Joe's and Target wine. I mean, if you have a wine cellar in the dedication of your house there, dedicated in your house, a space for wine, it's not going to be cheap wine, I would imagine, more times than not. And if so, that's just an odd market that there's even more than one of those, because you imagine if you got this nice wine, you go like, oh, we got the Rigabounds coming. That's the last name I just made up. The Rigabounds. I don't think that's a name of anybody. I don't know where that came from, but the Rigabounds are coming over for dinner. And you're like, oh, let me get a Beaujolais. That may be a wine. I don't really know. Let me go get a Beaujolais. That sounds like Bobby Beausoleil. Beausoleil, the guy that was in the Manson family. Anyway, I got to run down to the storage unit across town and get some wine for dinner. This doesn't seem very practical. It seems like a wine chiller, one of those little refrigerated cabinets, would probably be a better, more logical option, until you can afford a house that has space dedicated to wine. I don't know, man. People that spend money on wine like that, I guess, have different priorities than me, but I get my wine cellar money. I could just find so many other things to do with it, And I heard a girl yesterday explain online what Dungeons and Dragons was. The guy was like, so tell me about it, And it was the guy from Benthal, whatever. The guy that died in the first or second season of Walking Dead. The guy, I guess he was another cop. I think he made it to the farm and then he got bit or something. Anyway, that show started getting dumb after they left the farm. I couldn't watch it anymore. Anyway, that guy was interviewing somebody, and he was basically like, so what is this Dungeons & Dragons? Explain it to somebody who doesn't know anything about it. And I'm like, I'm listening because I don't know anything about it. I know the video game was really cool in the late 80s. That was a neat video game in the arcade, but I don't think that has anything to do with the board game. So this girl starts explaining it, and she's like, you're walking down through the woods, and you hear a dire wolf crackle some limbs, and you turn and you see, and what do you do? And he's like, well, how far away am I from the dire wolf? Or whatever she said, And she's like, your perception is already high. So you've got a 17, and then you draw a card that gives you 3 more. So now you got a 20, and I'm already lost. I don't even know what we're talking about. Is that what it is? I thought it was just like a 12-sided die. And I only know that because it's in a Weezer song. But what? You sit around and role play? I can't imagine finding any joy, solace, comfort, or entertainment out of something like that. It's like, I don't get it. And I don't guess I'm supposed to get it. And then I take to the comments, and I'm like, maybe somebody can explain what I just listened to, because I'm still in the dark. And somebody was like, a couple people were like, that was the best explanation of D&D I've ever heard in my life. And I'm like, well, I'd hate to see a mediocre definition or explanation, because that didn't clear up anything for me. And I'll tell you one more thing before I dearly depart. I've apparently been saying it wrong all my life, I've been saying plethora. And sometimes I say it with a Spanish accent, because that's what they say in Three Amigos. Would you say I have a plethora of gifts? You are very wise and da 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 da. Would you say I have a plethora of gifts? I say plethora, but plethora is also acceptable. But I've heard 3 people in the last couple weeks say plethora. And the first time I thought the person was just dumb. And then the second person, I was like, did he say plethora? Third time, I'm like, have I been saying plethora wrong my entire existence? I've been using that word for quite a while. I mean, hell, that movie came out in like, what, 87, 88? I've been using it at least since I was a young teen, pre-teen, whatever the heck I was back there in the late 80s. All I'm saying is, this goes right up to when we were talking about harassment. Remember the S-H, actual harassment, and I was like, it's harassment. Why? And apparently some people say harassment. And now, is this one of those words that can go either way? Or have we all had it wrong all these years? That's all I'm asking today. So anyway, y'all have a good one. And if you rent a wine cellar, I'd love to hear from you. Get him.